We are back, episode number 6 of the Fit for Life Radio. And when I say back, I mean we are back from Austin, Texas as well. We survived. Our podcasts were pre-concerts. So this week, before we get into our guest, we are going to, let's recap our concerts, see which ones were the favorite here with Coach Will and Ben. Do you guys, just real quick, want to just, I know it's hard to pick, but what was your one favorite act from the weekend?
Dude, that's the hardest part, man.
Can you give us like a 1 to 3? Give me 2. I just need 2.
Only
okay,
one.
Go ahead
only
with
one.
Ooh, only one.
One habit, one act.
What, really?
Damn.
All right. I see what you're doing here. I'm going to go with Andrew McManus. That was amazing. He played a little Jack's Mannequin as well. So kind of a little bit of everything. And I mean, it was the lowest expectation, and it was the first show we saw, but it was the best one.
Yeah. Damn. Since he picked my answer, like, I'll give you a second one so we can kind of maybe share this.
Round me out.
I'll round it out with, like, maybe the opposite end of the spectrum. Jay-Z was, like, the best ever. And it's like Jay-Z, you're like, oh, he's going to be good, but, you know, it's probably a regular performance. But, like, there's a reason why he's, like, the best. He was just better than everybody else, period.
Yeah. I have to go with that as well.
Yeah. But Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness was, like, just fun. Like, I wanted to go hang out with the guy. Like, maybe go to Applebee's or something afterwards.
Yeah.
You know? So, just, maybe get some half-price appetizers. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
and when he played the throwbacks, it's just funny how music is, how songs from your past just are going to resonate more with you, you know, and kind of make for a better time. So, like, when he played that stuff, like, that was, you know, a fun, memorable moment. Same with Jay-Z. When Jay-Z played all his older stuff from when I was in high school, it was that was really the peak moments for me. So
it was pretty lit.
Look at Ben. Ben, you pick up,
the kids are saying it. Look it
kids
up
are
on
saying
Urban Dictionary.
lit.
I gotta say, I don't know if it's because we were in Austin or if it's maybe the generation of these kids are like less likely to litter, but that was the cleanest festival
cleanest
of all
concert
time.
ever. I 100% agree.
That's laid out too.
Yes,
just anywhere
with the
you look,
signs. Oh,
everywhere.
so
Yep, you
easy.
knew where you were. You knew what you needed to get. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But then I found out afterwards that they had urinals instead of waiting in line for a porta
Oh,
potty.
that's
Ben
true.
slipped to
That's
the
true.
urinals and they walked
And
past me
now.
as I'm waiting in line at the porta potty and didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I
Every
could've
time you
been in
went,
and
I
out of
was
urinals.
like,
gotta live with that.
maybe Will's a sitter, you know, because
I'm not a sitter. That's the problem. Like, I'm a stander and I wasted a lot of time.
Yeah.
In that line.
Wasting the time is not gonna get that
Well,
back.
you know what? That's enough guy talk.
That is enough guy talk. Let's get to the girl talk.
Yeah, let's get to the girl talk. So, speaking of girl talk, with us today, we have you like that segue?
I mean, girl talk is
Flawless.
my favorite. I'm really good at it.
So there we have it. We have Kristen Harris, who is a trainer at Coastal Strength and Fitness, but she also was a client of mine way back in the day, about 4 years ago. So we'll get into all that. But Kristen, you want to say hi?
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
There we go. So we told her she has to turn on the girliness to balance us out. So
Oh my gosh, this is the best day ever.
Oh, man.
But really, though, this will be fun. So, Kristen, she goes back to when she used to train with me, like I said. And Kristen, so you want to talk about when you first started training? You already, you were a runner and you were into fitness. Like, you kind of had that down. You weren't necessarily like, I need to do something. So you want to kind of talk about for you, ever since then, like what it meant or what you were looking for when you went from training on your own to then, basically reaching out and hiring a coach and sticking with that.
Yeah, so, I mean, like you said, I've always been interested in fitness and always done weightlifting, but I remember thinking, like, I would just love a personal trainer one day. And so I didn't save up the money. I just used credit cards. So, so if you're going to go in debt over a gym and a good trainer. That's what I say. So I just remember thinking, like, I would like to get, like, the technique down or maybe even, like, get stronger because I was doing the things, but I don't know if I was like looking for results except for thinking like, oh, it'd be awesome to do like a figure competition one day and I would need a trainer. So that was like the train of thought when I decided to get one. And then since then, because I had a really awesome coach and he was so amazing. Oh my gosh, Gary Deagle.
I heard a lot about that guy.
Butter.
So I learned a lot, and then following you from gym to gym, you're like a good hairdresser, Gary. Once you find one, you never.
He wouldn't know anything about that. He goes to like whatever hair cuttery is closest, like on any given day, and then complains about the haircut.
Some people fly to Austin to get their hair cut.
That's true.
That's right. I mean, there are some good cuts out there.
It was a good cut, though.
It was.
It was a good cut. It was a cool place.
So I think when I became a member at Coastal, that's when I feel like I knew what I wanted then and like how to achieve it with just the basic knowledge that I learned over the years and from training with you.
And let's talk about that for a second, because I think that's cool, because you were a client of mine when, one-on-one, which is how most trainers start. And then you eventually, when I opened Coastal, kind of moved into that program and trained with the group. And so it's funny, you mentioned the credit card debt, because obviously one-on-one training is a lot more expensive. Then you switch to the group, and I've always argued, and the reason I love and wanted to do a group style business is ultimately most people have more fun and stick with it longer with the group. It makes the rate cheaper, and it's just a better experience, right? Mm-hmm. And then when we kind of did a little nutrition challenge, that was when you dialed things in and got really lean and ripped and in your best shape. And then you decide to have a baby.
Undo all that progress.
And then you ruined your life and ruined your body.
But we'll get into that too, because I know a lot of our listeners will be, our moms, and that'll be a good thing for them to learn from you and your experience so far. But you want to talk about kind of the change from one-on-one into group, and the pros and cons and all that good stuff?
Yeah. Well, first, because I'm so girly and I'm bringing the girl today, the one-on-one's better if you want to gossip. So.
That's what I was gonna say. It's funny, right?
And you know what?
It's hard to gossip when there's 5 other people around.
Don't let Gary fool you. He's like the king of gossiping.
I mean,
he's gonna find out whatever he needs to find out, and he just lives for that stuff. So don't let that rugged, super ripped physique.
So I was totally
steer you another way.
So if trying to get my gossip in when I have not one-on-one, I just got to get there really freaking early. So that's why I would show up at 3 o'clock. So maybe I can gossip with Gary today.
It's funny, as a one-on-one trainer, you almost become too good of friends with your clients, and it almost gets in the way.
That's the downfall of a one-on-one trainer.
Yep.
It turns into hanging out with your friend rather than just training the person.
Yep. So then we got our gossip in pre-class, but then
I really I wasn't sure if I would like the group training as much as one-on-one, because it doesn't seem as personal. Maybe you wouldn't get the attention that you were getting. So I was excited to try something new, but then also thinking well, I'm gonna get results. And definitely a big pro is that, at least one thing is, I'm competitive, so of course I'm sizing up my competition every class, especially on SmackDown. And so I think being a little bit competitive, and when you're lifting with other people, then you just want to lift more, or lift more than the person next to you.
Well, that shouldn't be too hard for you, since probably Ben's sitting next to you, right?
Damn.
Yeah, he only curls
stops.
10.
Yeah,
that's
weird.
Hey, we've already discussed that. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think at least for me, the group training was way more beneficial than one-on-one, just to get the results that I wanted, and maybe to have that support of community at a gym.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're finding, and now you work for us, so you'll see, ultimately the most important thing for anyone is to do something that they'll show up to, and then you have tons of options. You have the Planet Fitness route, you have personal trainer, you have group training, and what we've kind of found ultimately is the group training is that perfect blend of everything, right? You're paying a little more, so you're more likely to come, but you also have the group atmosphere. It's more fun, you make friends. it's just a better experience. And then on top of it, you still get the benefit of having a coach to hold you accountable, coach you through the class, teach you exercises, make sure you're doing things right. So it's just a great thing. So that's why most people experience what Kristen went through in her experience from going from one-on-one to group. So now, Kristen, so even more fun, let's talk about your mom life. So the differences, because I know you went through a transition and a phase there. So you want to talk about that, and then sharing some strategies now that you're kind of figuring it out.
Yeah, definitely still figuring it out, I think. So I remember it being really challenging in the beginning when I was a new mom, because I had some personal goals I wanted to meet as a mother. But then I had like goals of just my own self, that thinking I needed to like get back in shape right away. And so I remember coming back after having Eden and it being like a struggle, just being torn between being somewhere else and not with her. But then I decided to, one of the goals was to nurse Eden until she was 2. Now she's 2 in like a few months and we're still doing it. But I don't know, maybe there's some other moms that can relate. But so I thought like I have to just pick one, and one was a priority that I wanted to do that for my child. So like being relaxed with like not taking care of myself, but like being strict with nutrition and like getting back into the shape I was before I had Eden. I think it helped me in the long run because I wasn't stressed out about it anymore. I like made a decision, I was happy with it, and then I stuck with it. And now, like I said, 2 years later, in a few months, I'm back in like this like shape I was, or maybe even better, because I'm definitely stronger. And yeah.
That's awesome. And I noticed how you said 2 years and not 24 months.
You know what?
This won't be that situation where like you're still nursing and they're like 64 months old, but since it's months, it's okay.
You know what? That might happen, but I won't. How old is 64 months?
That's 5 years old.
Gosh. So yeah, I mean, after 12, you had to count on your fingers. So I just like, I can't do any more months, 13, 15. Yeah.
Too much counting.
That's another thing that I said I wouldn't do. I mean, I did it probably for a while, but I'm not doing it anymore. She's 2. You're a freaking kid now. Have a real age.
You just send them off to work and school now.
Yeah.
Here you go, kiddo. All right. So, what would you say then? Because I think the mental part's the hardest thing, right? Because I remember for you, it's like, oh, I was doing this before, and I wouldn't be doing it on my first day back, but just accepting that it takes a little bit more time. Was that a struggle for you, or?
It was, yeah. In the beginning, I remember doing some exercises, like, man, this feels so, like, this is not how I remembered it. It feels awful. And then, like, thinking, like, what am I doing here? But I think, like, what's hard for maybe a lot of people, which is hard for me, is, like, making a decision, being happy with it. And I think a lot of my years, training and trying to figure out what works for me, it's helped me like listen to like what I really want and like ask my questions like to myself and be able to answer them truthfully. So yeah, I think maybe deciding like what I wanted to do and like the goal that I had set before, while I was pregnant, and then sticking to it and being okay with it really helped get my mindset, and then slowly ease back into training hard and being more strict with diet.
Yeah. So, and I think, speaking of strict with diet, the way your lifestyle is very, like, for most people, it's a great kind of goal and place to be, in that you are able to maintain, a lean body fat for a lady, and you push yourself and work out hard. And I say for a lady because like 8% body fat for a girl is not the best idea. So, but Kristen's lean. You see her muscles, and but at the same time, you don't work out all the like 7 days a week, and you also, like, one of your hobbies is beer drinking and stuff like that. So like you make room for those things. So you want to talk about some of the trade-offs, since like you enjoy going out and drinking some on the weekend, and then also at the same time you are like a competitive person who likes to put yourself in the gym. So what's your kind of balance? Like how often are you training? What kind of have you found out for nutrition works good for you?
I'm training like 5 to 6 days, but there's a lot of easy days in between, like 3 like really hard days.
Yeah, which is what I do. I train like 6 days, but 3 of them are easier, like walks or bike rides or stuff like that. So
yeah. So I'm sorry, I forgot the question.
what's your
Am I allowed to mess up?
Yeah, so maybe let people know like how many days are you strength training, and then like kind of nutrition, like what's your trade-offs and balance, with healthy stuff, and then also you also like to like enjoy different beers and all that. So
yeah, I mean, finding that balance is super important. It took me a long time to find it, but if I know I'm going to have a few beers, I probably won't, maybe have extra carbs in the day. I mean, that's how I do it. I trade off my carbs, like starchy carbs and stuff.
Yeah, for beer carbs.
For beer. And
powerhouse of the cell.
I have 9 beers a day and no other carbs.
What's the problem? Yeah, and then maybe even like increasing, like maybe eating a little more protein, so I'm like full, so I'm not drunk off of just 1 beer, which usually happens.
That's a good deal, though.
A cheap date. I mean, something better than that.
Yeah. But it took you like trial and error to kind of get to that point, right? To where you feel like you're in great shape, you're stronger than before, and you can enjoy those things, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. So, and I think that's where most people. That's the lesson that we would love for everyone to get across, is that there is no exact right or wrong for anyone, or is there like a specific answer right away. It's more, here's a map, here's guidelines, and then kind of trial or error, and just like the process, going through that process and nailing it down. So
which always seems like awful, like when that's what you have to do, trial and error. It's like it's gonna take forever. And I can remember some moments when I was trying to figure it out, thinking like, this is awful, this is going to take forever. But now when I look back, it's only been like 8 months or like 6 weeks. It's never. So when I'm having to make like decisions again like that, I think it's going to be really hard. Just like, I hope I can hang on to that, at least knowing that in the end it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, like ultimately at the end of the day, we have to do something every day. It's just really a matter of what ends up making up those decisions, so it's good to have a time frame and goal and an idea, but ultimately, like you said, it really just is something that's always evolving. So, Ben, you want to, so then what happened was, as I had some opportunities out here in California, I knew I needed another trainer, and Kristen popped in my head to be perfect because of her personality, and I knew she was aware of our training style. She had been training with me a while, so she just knew some of the stuff, and that she was smart enough to then learn what she needed to learn.
If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late, so having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's 1 scoop mixed in water once a day and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out.
So then we offered her a job and grew from there. So Ben, you want to maybe kind of ask Kristen some questions since you were there to help her grow and blossom into the best trainer at Coastal?
I have so many questions. I'm just gonna filter through which ones I would like to ask.
Make sure I can answer them.
Yeah, just like we rehearsed. All right, so let's see. Yeah, what's been your favorite part? I guess your favorite part of like the education. So what you know now that you didn't know before. What was the best thing?
Oh,
or
man.
subject? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's all really good. I just love all of it. No, I think like one thing that, and maybe it's obvious, like I really like that, I don't know, I can cue people better and like it makes sense, and I feel like that would be hard to explain because I couldn't read that in any of like the training books or anything. Like no one taught you how to like be a coach. So I think the most exciting thing is like stepping out of my box. I didn't come from this type of background besides just working out by myself, and then like having to like train and coach people. That it was nerve-wracking in the beginning, but now when I look back, well, it's fun to think about.
Yeah, definitely that's one of the biggest areas that I've seen her improve. Do you pull from the experience you have with Gary too? Like maybe when he would tell you, hey, like your elbow's flailing, like bring it back in. Anytime that ever comes up?
Yeah, whenever I'm like nervous about, like I feel like I have to like really go in and give someone a really good cue. I just remember when Gary would just give like one cue or like say two things. Mm-hmm. And like it was okay. So I keep thinking, well, I don't have to like go into this super long detail. I mean, no one at the gym does that, explains lots of things really in depth.
No.
Nobody would
So
ever do
no
that.
one does that.
Everyone
So
keeps it nice and
it's
concise.
so it's I feel like well Gary, that's how because I got from Gary and they were really effective. So whenever I'm like nervous, I try and keep it simple, stupid.
So, wait, are you saying?
Where's my feelings?
No, but Ben, she just
Works
said
every
my
time.
approach is simple, stupid. So you're the genius. Where's Will in all this?
Now the cat's out of the bag.
Oh boy.
And then Will's
We
he's
overthrow.
just an innocent bystander.
I just coach, man. That's it. It's like middle of the road. I'm not gonna write like a term paper on it and then like tell you, but I might give you a little detail or two.
What?
You know what though? Like that's the hard part of coaching. Is like you can know all the information in the world, and like I've met people who know like a ton of information, but if you can't relay that to another human being in a way that they're gonna actually like take it in and be able to take action, then it means literally zero. So like, and that's been cool, like seeing Kristen go from like being nervous about coaching people and cueing people to where she can say what Ben or Gary or I would say to somebody and like say it with complete confidence. Like, hey, tuck your elbows or whatever it may be, like pull your shoulder blades back, and just having that be the one thing that the person does, so it's cool to see.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Kristen, did you kind of notice a parallel of like the way we recommend clients maybe learn proper nutrition and the way you kind of learn to be a trainer, as far as like getting little bites and slowly adding to it, to where you were so nervous in the beginning to even go over an exercise instruction, to where this past week we were out of town and you led all the morning classes?
Heck yeah, I did.
Do you think it was a benefit to take a little bit at a time? Like you want to talk about that?
I remember when like I first started and I was like, I don't even remember if you were like, well, you don't have to demonstrate. Somehow we came to this agreement that I'll just hide behind the stopwatch. And just watch and like listen to things that he would say, and then it was good because I feel like, and we talked like maybe if we come in this way with it, like they'll like me because, and I don't remember the exact why, but they like me because I'm the only one that can do the stopwatch. So like I had that going for me. They always knew when they were gonna stop. They always knew when there was like 7 minutes left or whatever we were doing.
I was particularly bad at the stopwatch too. So the minute that it was in someone's hands, that they were gonna love that person.
No more.
I remember us going through that actually, and just So, Kristen, what do you think about doing this? Deer in the headlights. Okay, so probably not demonstrating that. How about not really. How about some public speaking? Nah, not really. and
Well,
so
what are you gonna do?
but hey, how about run this class? Oh, I could run this class. I'm organized. I have that figured out. I know how to, like, environmental awareness of what a coaching environment should feel like. Yeah, I can absolutely do that. Not only, was she at Coastal, but, she picked it up and she figured out this is what it needs to feel like. And so immediately she started doing that and progressed in that way. And that first success, just snowballed. And I couldn't even tell you the steps after that of, like, when she figured out how to cue and when she figured out why we do what exercise with what. And, that coaching give and take that you need where, like, you'll demonstrate this and I'll demonstrate that. That, like, when, Gary, Will, and I, like, we didn't have to try as I came in. It just, we always seemed to flow there. Like, this was something that just kind of came all of a sudden, but it was based on that first success of, what I can do is I can run this thing. And, like, just to parallel that with like nutrition or honestly our approach to change. If I'd have just thrown her to the wolves and said, all right, you got to run the class. I'll see you. I'll be in the bathroom.
Later.
Then I think that's where, I mean, we'd be, maybe we wouldn't be sitting here with Kristen on the podcast. Nope. Because the success that we've had. So there's the parallel though. Yeah. The one thing at a time. Starting with that, succeeding, and then really, you can still do one at a time, but really, stuff just seems to fall into place after that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you get confidence.
You turn from success to
yes,
right.
It's little victories. You're piling on little victory after little victory.
Yeah.
Instead of a huge failure at front. And just so people know, the training at Coastal is like a mixture of stand-up comedy, college professor, and Chip and Dale dancer.
That's probably the most accurate thing I've actually ever heard.
Which one am I?
No. Like we have to do all three, right? Because the crowd is rough. Like they want to be educated.
The crowd is rough. Man.
They want to be educated, but it needs to be funny, right? And then
they really need to be entertained too. Like that's I think what people pay us for is that entertainment value.
And then if you wear a tank top, you're gonna get a little catcall or two.
Tank top Friday.
Take a step further, man.
So and that, I think Kristen is surpassing Ben in the everyone wants arms like Kristen.
I mean,
I did.
Yeah.
The glory is gone. I can feel it.
She's sucking the glory out.
She is.
She's taking it all for herself.
They used to say, "Wow, Ben looks so strong during demonstrations," and I just don't get that anymore. But once a freaking class, she's got somebody looking at her back when we're doing pull-ups.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm really glad though that she can't grow a beard because at least like I still have that going for me.
Dude,
you know what I mean? Like I have one
thing.
thing.
Got my lock, bro.
I got one thing that I can do really well that she just can't figure out. So
you're right. I can't.
Right now, at least, like maybe she will at some point. I don't know, what her plans are for the future, but.
And if you doubt the power of the beard, just go to a music festival in Austin, and you'll see what happens.
Well, that was at the barbecue joint too. That wasn't even at the festival.
Oh, I'm thinking anywhere. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, he had it at the festival.
Yeah. Yep. So, I think so. Will, we were talking before we got on a perfect parallel to that power of change. The way Kristen became a great trainer from scratch. You remember how you mentioned a member who kind of came up to you and kind of laid out like this is all I wanted to focus on, and now they've done that, and now they're going to another level.
Sure. Yeah. I'll give him a shout out actually. Brad, who's did the 6-week challenge. His only goal for the whole 6-week challenge was I want to show up to the gym 3 days a week and do it consistently. And dude, he did that. He rocked out, and then like I don't think he missed one day, maybe one. But anyways, yeah, he was like as consistent as possible. That was his goal. He succeeded. Then the next step was like, all right, well, let's tackle nutrition a little bit. He didn't even worry about that in the beginning, which is actually ideal. Because now he has like that routine of being able to go to the gym. I got that down 3 days a week, and most people only need 3 days a week. And then now he's tackling nutrition, and because he took it that one step at a time, I guarantee you he's going to do really well because he took it in that fashion rather than trying to do everything at once, succeeding for 2 weeks, and then crashing and burning into like a fireball at the bottom of the cliff. So taking that one step at a time approach to any type of change, it could be nutrition or exercise or relationships or whatever, like that is the best way to go. I think the best way to succeed. And he's going to kill it, man. I got a good feeling.
So while we're on that, do you, Kristen, like, do you have any clients that stand out to you and since you've started coaching who, like, that's the great thing about the job, right? Like we joke and laugh about all this stuff and the knowledge and all that, but the best part is when a client, like, you truly help them and you see that light come on for them. And are you enjoying that part of the job?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just recently we're wrapping up that 6-week accountability group that we went with, and I've been doing some measurements of some of the members, and we have a lot of really, like, great results from, they are meeting goals or, like, reaching far past them. And it is fun to see because, I was there too before, so it's fun to help somebody else through it. And what's really awesome is, back to keeping it simple, everybody made just small changes. Like, I just stopped drinking soda, or I just cut out like sugar, or like I was just more like conscious about how much I was eating. And like, even one member was like, well, I used to think I had to get 20 grams of protein and like would be stressed out. And she's like, I just started using like my palm, for portion, like, my hand for portion sizes. And it's really neat. Like, and some of these members have been here for a while, and like it took that long to get there, but I don't think that's like a bad thing. I mean, it's a big deal to like make some big changes like that, or like, like habits that you had, so it's fun that everything that everybody did was really simple and they got like really great results.
Yeah, it has been fun, and this has definitely been the best one we've done, So that's been good, and it's cool because so the main focus, like that first habit we had, was the journaling, food journaling, which I think brought a lot of awareness to people, right? Because everyone kind of knows what to do, and we have great resources like this template, do this, do that. But I think when we had everyone just bring awareness and not to numbers, we kind of emphasized just do photo journaling, then everything became real. It wasn't about like we've always said eat a palm of protein, and then what's the first question we get from most people? Well, how much is that? What should that be? How many ounces is it? How many grams is it? And I'm like, that is the point. Like, we don't want you to worry about those things. Just like you eat food, you don't eat a number. Like, just start visualizing so that then it's going to be more sustainable. And I think by doing the food journaling, like, it answers most people's questions, right? Like, if someone sees everything they're eating, they'll ultimately know what to expect, so it's just, I think that was a big key. And then like you said, just for some people it just takes time. Like, and I was talking with someone who didn't get what they were expecting for this challenge, but that doesn't mean it was a failure. It's just a lesson, right? So right. Maybe this is one step closer to it clicking for you, or for most people it's avoiding what they know they need to do, so it takes a couple times of, I don't even want to say failure, but basically it takes a couple lessons for it to finally click that you just then do what you need to do, So, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as in the meantime, if you're training and showing up to the gym, like, that's great. A lot of people could be gaining weight for 20 years and then they come and start working out and don't gain weight for a year, but they see that as a failure because they didn't lose any weight. But if you step back from it, it's like, hey, like, you were gaining weight all your life up to this point. Like, not gaining weight is a huge success, So yeah, so that's the fun thing about these challenges is in working with clients, is seeing all the fun little appreciation that everyone gets, and which I always found funny, right? When clients appreciate you, they'll like bring you cookies and stuff. You haven't experienced that yet. Well, you got the holidays coming up, so you'll see that. So that's Ben's favorite part.
Well, we do get Debbitron that up until the wedding routinely brought us treats. Yep. And we actually didn't give Kristen.
for a long time, you never gave me any.
Yeah,
and
well-
then one
Anything.
day, I guess Ben started to feel guilty because
I think Ben just forgot to we forgot to take them
Oh,
home and
is that
divvy
what
them
it
up.
I got real full or something. I don't know.
We forgot to move them, and she was like, "Oh, what are these cookies for?" And then we had to fess up.
For all of us.
Yeah.
Now
so-
she knows.
She did tell me one time. She's like, I bring stuff. And
Oh, yeah,
you can
Debbie
have
did tell
it
you.
too.
Yeah.
Or she brought it in and was like, this is for you too, And I'm like, I'm taking it all. I'll make sure
man.
they see.
But yeah,
it.
once the holidays kick in, it just people bring us everything. But it's good, man. I'm glad we're not like other jobs. When people come in, they're like, "Oh my god, I've had donuts at the office every day this week." That would be trouble. Because if somebody brought me donuts every single day, like I can't refuse donuts every day. Like I know myself, and that would be trouble.
Yeah.
So shout out to everyone at the gym for not bringing donuts in every day. And if you start, then we're gonna have to have a long talk about.
Can
your
you start
membership.
tomorrow at 4:30, please? Thanks. And coffee.
I'm gonna adjust my macros.
Coffee and donuts.
Daily donut.
Well, what do you guys think? I think we covered a lot here.
Yeah.
I think it's time for the
Ben,
song of the week.
What do you got, Ben?
What I have.
What are you listening to,
What
man?
I have. It's just this one. I mean, it's a banger. You actually know this one pretty well. You're actually the one that introduced me to it, Will. The beats per minute, the way that it's set up. Normally, it takes a quick beat per minute to kind of get you hyped up. This one slows it down, but the aggression is still there, and that's what makes it unique.
That's what you need.
So,
All right, here we go. Ben's
Give you
about
a
to blow all your speakers out.
give you a
so
little
be careful.
taste. Give you a little taste. Just a little bit slower. But you can feel it build. I know you can. You're
yeah.
getting it.
You're not gonna leave us hanging,
Yeah.
are you?
Oh yeah. Well, no, I'm not gonna sing it. I'm gonna let it marinate a little bit. But it gets pretty live after that.
So there's
Who was it? What was
Yeah,
it?
what's-
Who was
Oh
it?
yeah.
What's the song called? So people can check it out.
No, I just thought y'all read it with me. It's called Speaker Box by Bass Nectar.
Yeah, it's a good track. We play it at the gym pretty frequently, I think.
Speaker Box. Yeah, actually, yeah. If you go to Costa, you've heard this one
Yeah.
multiple times. But if you haven't, or if you've never just
Yeah, it's a good hit.
make sure there's some heavy weight around you. Otherwise, you might throw something though. It gets you going.
So what do you got, Kristen? You got anything you want to add? No song of the week?
No song of the week. I didn't know I needed a song of the week.
You know what though? Let me hit you with
There
one
you
real
go.
quick.
There you go. I mean,
no.
we can't be
So-
without too much
Wait, I
music.
thought we were. What, are you gonna do this?
Yeah. And the only reason I'm doing this is because we saw them at Austin City Limits. So this is a pretty hard hitting song. It's Run the Jewels. Close Your Eyes. Yeah, I'll play like 10 seconds and then I'll let you guys go listen to it. This one's dope. Don't listen to it around your kids. There we go. That's good enough. So, good training song. Or if you're like having an angry day, it's a good angry day song. Really, all their music's dope. So if you've never even heard of Run the Jewels, check them out. Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
All right. I'm gonna hold back on the side. I think 2 is good. We don't want to overwhelm them.
2's good. Yeah, 3 would be a stretch.
You know what? I might throw a country song in next week.
Oh,
I'll bring 2
Just
just in
'cause I
case
know
I
y'all
gotta
never
balance it
will.
out.
yeah.
So
Jesus.
I don't want.
I
I
can
don't
always
want.
edit
I
the
don't want our
country out.
listeners starting to wear cowboy hats and boots and stuff.
Yeah, we
I
don't
can't
need
work
that.
out the country.
I hear enough of it at home.
I can't work out the country though. Never been able to do that.
Can anybody work
I don't know
out
how
the
you can
country?
live the country.
You know, it's just a lifestyle.
Comes
You
on
know
the
what, though?
comes
You
on
know
the
what?
radio. I
I
just
say
want to
that.
go the
I
other
was
way.
gonna say it's a
Traffic.
lifestyle, but I don't have a truck. I don't have a hat. I have a dog, so I don't know.
We did one Friday. I can't remember who requested it. We did Country Music Friday in the afternoon.
Was it Taylor Swift specifically, or just country music?
No, I think we started with some Taylor
I
Swift,
probably listened
and
to her.
then we hit a couple other songs. It pains me to say this, but it wasn't that bad.
You know what?
And you know,
Will,
and
This
you,
is happening at your
you
gym,
know how
Gary.
I feel about country.
Ben, you know what's going on right now? He knows that Whitney is going to hear this. And he's just
Man, this-
he's protecting
the
his own
points that
butt.
he's
Yeah, he's
earning
trying
right
to get
now.
those points. Like,
No, like I'm being 100% serious and not even trying to like score brownie points with my girlfriend. Like, and I told her after we listened to it, I was like, it wasn't that bad. Like I would do it again if people wanted it. Like I wouldn't train to it, but I had an okay time.
Okay. But we won't see you at
That's fair.
Saddle Ridge anytime soon.
Oh, man.
Just line dancing, got my cowboy boots on.
You remember?
Nah, man. I went to Eagle Nest once, and I felt so lost because I dropped my drink on the dance floor during a line dance. And then like I was just that guy that didn't know the moves and spilled a drink.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You remember Saddle Ridge, Kristen?
Heck
Is Saddle Ridge?
yeah. I used to go there a lot.
That was the spot.
Did you know all the dances? You know all the
I
moves?
did know the dances,
All right, you would.
but
Good times. All right. Well, we don't want you to have too much fun, so we're gonna close out episode 6 here.
Cut it off.
Ben's giving me the signal, the hand signal.
Give me the signal.
I can't see you, but I know you are.
Yeah, but cut it.
And yeah, we'll be back with you next week. If you have any questions, remember just to drop them on our Instagrams. We'll have links to that in the show notes. You can also just email us too, which will be there. Or you can send a pigeon to Ben's house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Tell me what you think about the music.
Yeah, let us know what you think about Ben's music
I wanna know what you
taste.
think.
Yeah, tell us if you hate the music or if you love it.
Yeah.
Do you want some more of it?
Be raw.
Be raw.
Yeah, raw. Be raw and real.
I think that we're going to get a lot more country music recommendations then.
Please no.
We're gonna. Yeah.
Tim Presley, if you're listening, like, please don't make any recommendations. I love you, but I know it's
Lindsay's
coming.
probably going to chime in with some Bieber.
That's fine.
You know what, though? We hit a little beeb at the gym every once in a while, and it's okay.
That's all right. Yeah.
That's fine.
The beeb's part of everyone's hearts, whether you want to do it or not.
All right.
So,
That's where he was
The
born.
Biebs, that we'll definitely close it on that note. We're getting in too deep with the Biebs. So, all right, everybody. Y'all have
Night, Seattle.
an excellent week. Holla.
later.
Bye.